In an alternate universe, one bullet destroyed the entire Marvel universe before it ever began. In 1940, a Nazi spy killed Dr. Abraham Erskine, the only man who knew the super soldier formula. But the bullet also killed a young soldier standing next to him, a man named Benjamin Parker. And with those two deaths, everything changed. Captain America was never created. Instead, the government activated a backup called Project Iron Man, a crude suit of armor that had to be surgically wired into the operator's body. Steve Rogers, the same kid from Brooklyn who was supposed to become Captain America, volunteered, endured months of agonizing surgery, and became Iron Man. He won World War II in that suit, but Steve wasn't the only life that bullet destroyed, because Ben Parker died before he ever raised his nephew. And without Uncle Ben, Peter Parker grew up angry. No one taught him about responsibility. Peter became a delinquent who stole cars and picked fights. And one day, on a school field trip, he hotwired a military jeep with his friends and went joyriding through the desert. The jeep broke down, and while Peter walked back for fuel, he wandered straight into a gamma bomb test site right as the bomb detonated. Peter survived, but when his friends confronted him afterward, he transformed into the Hulk, tearing through everything around him. Aunt May saw what her nephew had become and collapsed from a heart attack. Peter ran. The government pulled Steve Rogers out of retirement and sent him in the Iron Man armor to capture Peter. But when they found each other outside the hospital where May was dying, Peter couldn't control it. The Hulk erupted, and Peter Parker killed Steve Rogers. Peter disappeared after that. Meanwhile, Reed Richards launched a rocket into space with Ben Grimm, Sue, and Johnny Storm. But it was sabotaged and exploded before reaching orbit. Everyone died except Reed, who became the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. With nothing left to lose, he recruited Tony Stark, Stephen Strange, and a scientist named Bruce Banner, who blamed himself for Peter's transformation because the gamma bomb was his creation. Banner spent years collecting samples from the blast site trying to find a cure, and during one experiment, a radioactive spider bit him and turned him into this universe's Spider-Man. Then, Galactus arrived. The Devourer of Worlds descended on New York, and the military was wiped out in minutes. Reed Richards broadcast a signal to every hero and villain on the planet, and they answered. They all came. Tony Stark in the Iron Man armor honoring Steve's memory, and somewhere in the wilderness, Peter Parker heard that broadcast too. He transformed into the Hulk and charged directly at Galactus, alone. He fought longer than anyone thought possible, absorbing blast after blast of the power cosmic, but eventually, Galactus killed him. The Silver Surfer watched a monster that the whole world feared and hated throw itself at a god to protect the planet that never showed him kindness, and he turned on his master. Galactus killed the Surfer for it, but not before the Surfer destroyed the machine that would have consumed the Earth. And in the final panel, Aunt May stands in the rain, looking down at Peter's grave, buried right next to Steve Rogers. Two men who were never supposed to be what they became, still dying as heroes anyway.